Alright, welcome back to another episode of Manga Transdub Theater, where we take public domain Japanese comics, English-size them, and then make funny noises. I'm your host, translator, sound engineer, director, and occasional bosun, Nicholas Tyson. Today, we continue with another episode of Sho-chan Adventures. What hijinks will Sho and Squirrel be up to this time around? Well, let's find out. So in today's episode, as you can see on the screen, is Osaka Yuki, bound for Osaka. A call came in for Squirrel and Sho to come visit the offices of the Asahi News Corporation in Osaka. Hey Squirrel, we're going to Osaka!
What? Really?
They were in such a hurry to get packed.
Did you pack your towel? And a toothbrush, too.
But first, they both had to stop by the barber shop for a haircut.
I don't need a shave.
Come on, Squirrel, your face is a mess. Sho got himself a trim, and Squirrel got himself a shampoo and rinse. You better be gentle with that one.
Hey, it's getting in my eyes.
Then, as the pair made their way to Tokyo Station...
Hey, man, what's the hurry?
Come on, we haven't a moment to lose. Sho rushes up to the teller and buys 2 tickets.
2 for Osaka, please.
Unexpectedly, as Squirrel tried to make his way through the wicket...
That other guy over there's got my ticket.
You'll have to wait here. The train attendant tells them you can't take animals on board.
You can't take animals on the train. You don't have to be so rude about it.
Now, we don't want to make any trouble. Sho quietly urges Squirrel to get into his bag. I don't think we have a choice here.
Man, what a pain in the neck.
They pass through the gate and climb up onto the platform. Whew, we made it! But in something of a panic, they hop on the train where all of the seats have already been taken. This sure is strange.
We there yet, Sho?
The conductor pops his head through the door and informs Sho that the car is for luggage only.
I'm sorry, but passengers aren't allowed on here.
Oh, can you tell us how to get to the third-class carriage? Sho picks up his bag and heads towards the third-class section. Hoo boy, sure is crowded. But every so often, Sho would sneak a quiet peek into his bag. Gotta make sure we keep you safe. And seated beside him, a rather peculiar individual kept leering at little Sho. Wow, these trips sure do take a long time. And in the meanwhile, Sho began, little by little, to drift off to sleep. That's when the man sitting beside Sho, seeing how he'd been nodding off, whispered to himself,
That's my cue to get down to business.
He quietly slipped his hand into Sho's bag.
Let's see what you got in there that needs to be kept so safe.
The man gasps when something suddenly leaps out.
Oh!
Squirrel jumped out of the bag and bit down onto the man's fingers.
Help! Help!
Cries of thief rang out throughout the train. It's a pickpocket! It's a thief! The conductor rushed over to haul the pickpocket away.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Come here, you! Once things had settled down, Squirrel climbed up onto the overhead luggage rack.
You may refer to me as your lordship, you peasant.
Hey, don't get any big ideas up there. Squirrel hid himself by crouching down into the shadows. Oops. Again, production values. They're great. Squirrel hid himself by crouching down into the shadows of the overhead luggage.
Sure is cramped up here.
Sho bought them a pair of bento lunches.
2 taimeshi bento, please.
Sho gently passed one of the boxed lunches up to Squirrel.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, we both gotta eat. Then, Squirrel got a little boozy from eating his naratsuke.
Well, I feel a little tipsy.
Behind the luggage, Squirrel was whirling like a dervish.
Woohoo! Wahoo! Wahoo! Wahoo!
Come on, settle down up there. That's when Squirrel noticed a thick cord hanging above his thick skull.
Perhaps, my dear fellow, I ought to hold on to this here.
Drunk on boozy pickles, Squirrel leapt onto the cord with the full weight of his body.
Yoink!
Hey, that's not for screwing around! Then up at the head of the train, a loud bell rang out. Bing, 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 bing. Someone's rung the alarm! The train ground to a halt, and a commotion arose among the passengers. What happened? What could have gone wrong? They found Squirrel dangling from the emergency cord. A squirrel did this. We're so sorry. He didn't mean to. When it looked like Sho would have to pay a stiff penalty for Squirrel's misdeeds. Regulations state a false emergency carries a steep fine.
It seems we have no choice.
Squirrel and Sho had no choice but to hurry themselves right off the train.
Why did you have to eat all the naratsuke?
Let's try that again.
Why did you have to eat all the naratsuke? Man, it was just a little bite.
And so they found themselves having to stay the night at a nearby inn.
I guess we'll just have to spend the night here. I really messed up, didn't I, Sho-chan?
In their room, the two waited and waited, but no one came around with their evening meal.
I'll just give a clap to get their attention. Maybe they're busy with other guests.
And unable to control himself, Squirrel stepped out of the room.
Man, nobody's coming. I'll take a look down the hall.
Couldn't hurt. Sho clapped several times to get Squirrel's attention, but he never came back.
What is that rascal up to?
But while Sho waited, a serving girl opened the door behind him in a sudden panic.
Sir, there's been a problem.
What is it? What happened?
She hurried Sho over to the kitchen and added, as they went,
Quickly, this way, hurry.
Is something wrong?
No sooner had Sho asked when he saw a squirrel had gotten caught in a mousetrap.
Well, what do we have here?
Just get me out of here.
Squirrel explained how he'd gotten caught while trying to sneak a bite from the kitchen.
On my way back to the room, I smelled something super tasty.
Squirrel rubbed his head and sat back down on the floor.
When the trap closed behind me, I was afraid for my life. You wouldn't get yourself into these situations if you weren't so greedy.
The next day, the pair boarded another train and made their way safely to Osaka.
Thanks for helping me out back there, Sho. Either way, we made it.
They sped away from Umeda Station in an automobile.
We there yet? Nah, we're still in Higobashi.
Once they finally arrived at the Asahi News Corporation, everyone was glad Squirrel and Sho had made it there in one piece.
Ah, you made it! You two seem to be in high spirits.
We just got here.
Yeah, by some miracle.
They made a modest effort to hide what had happened along the way, though.
Shh, let's just keep things on a need-to-know basis.
But, Squirrel, we were supposed to be here yesterday. And scene. Thank you once again for watching another manga transdub theater experience. If you like this episode, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.